Good afternoon, CFM. This is Coach Matt with our Saturday workout. We got a fun group or partner workout that you could do in a bunch of different ways that is centered on kettlebells and some carry stuff. So let's begin with our warm-up. We're gonna get 2 rounds through, 10 shuttle runs. So getting familiar with the 40-foot length from the end of the rig to the other end of the rig. So 10 lengths of the room. And then we're gonna do our diagonal skater bound and stick. So this is, I want to load up one leg by crossing the other leg behind, jump forward and diagonal and try to stick that landing without using the other foot and just freezing there for a second. Opposite side, stick that landing. Opposite side, stick that landing. Do whatever you got to do. Try not to jump like fast between the legs. What we're trying to do is absorb the force of that landing, stabilize, balance, and then redo on the other direction. Next one on the way back is just high knees, fast feet. And then we're gonna do some kettlebell pause cleans. I want you to do a shoulder raise, a reset, and a stand. Work on that from the front rack position. So what I want this to look like is practicing catching in the correct position, raising out of the correct position, resetting to the correct position, and then standing tall. And the purpose of this is that a lot of times when we do the kettlebell cleans, we get good at catching in a non-optimal position, and that limits you to only being able to do the weight that you can manhandle into the wrong position. And when I bump the weight up and say like, you gotta go to the next index higher, your immediate answer is just, I can't, right? And the reason that you can't is because you can't manhandle it into the wrong position. Where if we practice the lighter weight, but with the right position, then that would unlock this ability to do a more challenging weight, right? Because you have the technique correct. So 2 kettlebells, and I want to get my, we can just do a power clean on this one, but I want you to pause in the front rack position, pause, then we're going to shoulder raise up to the wrong position, reset to the right position, and then stand, right? So the goal would be always catching in that correct position and then sort of float up to where I got those kettlebells up on top of my shoulders. I would never want to catch like this with a heavier kettlebell, and then reset back to this good position with my knuckles underneath my chin, kettlebell resting in the crook of my arm, okay? And that's our drill movement for today. Make sure that you feel that pressure of the kettlebell sitting on top of the shoulder with the arms up like this, right? That I'm noticing this is the wrong position, pulling myself back into the correct position before I stand tall, right? And then the last one, hang on one sec, my band, Spanish squat hold. Sorry, I had that one on the other side of the room. So static Spanish squat for 30 seconds. So I'm stepping through one loop of the band, other end goes around, and then I'm stepping through that loop right there. So I've got one knee in either side of that band, and now I'm just walking backwards until I've got a good bit of tension on the band, and I'm sitting down into this vertical shin position that has all the tension on my patella tendons, right? And if I'm just sitting in this position, my quads are gonna burn a little bit for 30 seconds. That little circle, and then we're gonna move into the workout. So the workout is a combination of some dynamic movements and then some carries with the kettlebells. All of them are based off of 160-foot length of the room, which is down and back 2 times in front of the rig, right? And this one will be good for you to do with either a partner or a small group, because what we wanna do is a really hard round and then a rest to full recovery, another really hard round, and then a rest to full recovery. So you could do it by yourself, or you could do it with like 2 or 3 people. Don't think the rounds are gonna take super long if you don't stop, right? And that is the goal. Haven't put a weight on the kettlebells on this one because I want you to start at a moderate weight and then move your way up to the more challenging weights for the workout, okay? So beginning with, we're gonna go 4 double kettlebell or double dumbbell clusters. So that is a squat clean thruster, which means we are performing the clean, catching in the squat, and then pressing overhead. So with 2 kettlebells, it looks like so. Squat clean, thruster, tap the ground every time, squat clean, thruster. When I get done with my 4, I'm setting in that front rack position and I'm just walking for 160 feet, so down and back 2 times, all right? When I'm done with that, now I'm just gonna do 8 reps of a double kettlebell squat clean. So Now I don't have to do the cluster part of it, I just do the clean. And when I'm done with that, I'm gonna alternate a front rack and farmer carry, right? So on the last one, I'm gonna hold my one in the front rack position and one in the farmer carry position. And I'm gonna do down and back. When I get down and back, I'm going to switch. So now I'm going to clean one and drop the other. And then I'm doing my other down and back like that. So it's 160 feet, 80 feet with one arm up, one arm down, 80 feet on the opposite. Okay, and then the last one is 12 reps of kettlebell or dumbbell deadlift. So I'm just doing my kettlebell dumbbell deadlift and then finishing with 160-foot farmer carry. Okay, so both arms down for that last one. And then when I'm done, I'll set it down and rest. So again, the goal is getting all the way through that whole complex without resting, which may seem like no problem. I can do that with the 35s, and you try the 35s and you're like, oh, I couldn't do it. Drop down to the 26s. So the goal is getting all the way through without stopping. That is what should set your weight. When you're done all the way through, we're gonna accumulate the following 100 or 80 calories on the bike. You can break this up any way you want to. 80 reps of an alternating leg med ball to toes. This is similar to our V sit-up, but we're gonna reach up and touch one foot, switch feet. One foot should stay off the ground. I'm sorry, the leg that goes down should stay off the ground the whole time, and you count those one for one. So it'll be 40 touches on each side. The other two exercises are ring rows and plyometric push-ups. So the plyo push-ups, I wanna see you leave the ground. If you can clap, that's great, but just try to push up, leave the ground a little bit. And if you wanna set up a band across the rig to do that, that's great, but don't use the plyo push-ups with either the Matador or the adjustable pull-up bar, because it would be bad if you slipped and you fell on top of that, okay? And that is it for today and it for the week. I hope you guys had a great one, and I'll see you next week.